The defendant swiped my car, left the scene, and left me with the damages to pay for.
You left the scene because you were...
As soon as she came out the car, it was just aggressive. She over here talking about, okay, you're going down. She acting like I killed somebody.
I called the police. The police report has him leaving the scene.
Me being black in America, I automatically get on the edge whenever I'm around cops.
Plaintiff Abra Thompson claims the defendant collided with her car, then fled the scene without waiting for the police. She's suing for $2,000 for car damages. Defendant Hezekiah Cox claims the plaintiff overreacted after the accident, called the police, and threatened him. He claims he owes her nothing.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you. The Honorable Judge Jerry Springer now presiding. Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, Najee.
It's case number 006 on the docket, Thompson versus Cox.
And welcome to both of you. Let's see what we have here. The plaintiff, Abra Thompson, and you are suing the defendant, Hezekiah Cox,
Yep.
for $2,000 for car damages.
That's correct.
Okay, I'll hear from you first, and then I'll come to you.
Okay. So the defendant swiped my car, left the scene, and left me with the damages to pay for.
Tell me how it happened.
Coming from the gym, I went to Trader Joe's and headed home to make dinner.
Okay.
And I'm driving on a 4-lane roadway.
2 lanes each way?
Correct.
Okay.
And we're both going in the same direction.
Yes.
We're going south.
Yep.
I'm in the right lane, and he's up ahead of me, but I'm noticing that he's braking a lot, and he's swerving in and out of lanes.
Okay.
So I just kept my eye on him, but as maybe 2 cars in front of him, he was the 3rd car, I think, he stopped, and the first car was trying to get to the other side of the road.
In other words, make a left turn.
Correct, and the defendant was the 3rd car behind.
Right.
And I guess he became impatient, and as I am driving by,
On the right lane.
in the right lane, he's in the left lane, he decides to come over and hit me.
And where did he hit you? On what part of the car?
My driver's side door, driver back door,
Back
and
door.
a little bit on the bumper.
Do we have animation of it?
I think we do, yes.
Okay, well, why don't you go to the board and describe your animation, and then I'm going to give you a chance to give your side, okay? All right, and...
Okay,
he
so
goes
because
back
he's
this way.
swerving in
Okay,
and out
now
of
it
lanes.
happens.
Yes. So the blue car is now coming to a stop to go to the other side of the road.
Whoa.
Yeah, so
Oh, wait, well,
he
that-
decides to swipe me.
Okay, if you will just step back, so we're not close to each other.
Sure.
We're doing this case during the coronavirus. Okay, you're saying this is the defendant.
Yes.
All right, so the defendant is going, and you're saying he's going back and forth between lanes.
Braking a lot.
Okay, so you're not the green car, you're this
No.
black car coming up with the pink.
Correct.
Now you're saying is as you're driving here, he at some point now will, and he says
Come
he
over.
gave a signal, which may or may
Which
not.
is incorrect.
Well, it doesn't matter even if you did. If this is how it happened, the signal is irrelevant because even if you give a signal, you have to still make sure the lane is clear.
Correct.
You're saying as you're coming up this way, then he turns into you and hits the side of your car, the front door and the back door around there.
That's
That's
correct,
what you're
Your Honor.
saying. Which, if that's where the damage is, that would make sense.
Yes.
Now, let's hear if you want to give your case, and then we'll try that animation again.
So first off, I want to say $2,000, even if it was my fault, I'm not saying it is, way too much. First of all, it was scratches and it was a dent.
Okay.
Even if I was a crash a BMW or Mercedes Benz, it would not be that much.
It's fair for you to mention that. We're going to get into what the damages were, et cetera.
All right.
Okay,
so
but how did it happen according to you?
I was coming from the gym, going towards Walmart. We was going in the same
Okay,
direction.
so both you guys work out.
Yeah.
Correct.
You're both coming from gyms. Okay.
Correct.
So as I was going towards Walmart, you know, the car in front of me, he kept braking.
Okay.
That was the reason for me to keep braking because I was
Right.
gonna go right through the car. So I was braking because he was braking. So, and I was not swerving either. I was not swerving in and out lanes. I was behind this guy. And him consistently braking was the reason for me to turn into the other lane. It wouldn't make sense for me to keep on braking if I'm passing.
I got it.
You know?
And you're saying that you gave a signal to go to the
Yes.
right lane.
I gave a signal to go into the right lane.
Okay.
I looked right, left, behind me. She was not there. So when I was going to the right lane, we collided.
Your Honor, I have pics to show the damage.
Okay. Let me see that. And I'll ask the graphics again if we could see that again and stop it exactly where you stopped it the last time. You're saying you were driving like this. He comes out, and again, because it's irrelevant to the accident, I'm going to say, all right, you gave a signal. Maybe she didn't see it, but whatever, you gave a signal. But even when you give a signal, you can't change lanes if that lane isn't clear. If it was clear, this car, yours, would not have hit this car on the side. You were coming this way then. You couldn't have been in front. There's no way for you to have been in front
Correct.
and hit her on the side. Okay, so I just now have to see where the damage is. Okay, that's why this was important. I want to see where the damage is. Once again, if I see that the damage is on the side of the car, I have no possibility other than to conclude that you hit her in the side of the car, which meant you changed lanes when she was already in the lane. If, in fact, the damage is not on the side of the car but in the front of the car, then you're right. She rear-ended you and she's to blame. Now let's take a look at where the damage is, and if you will put it, if we can now take a look.
Okay. So that means my car was already ahead. My front bumper is already gone.
That's a side driver.
Correct,
That's a
Your Honor.
driver's door.
Correct. So as he's coming over, I'm looking in my side view, and I'm like, the car looks too close. Next thing you know, boom, he swipes me. If he's already ahead of me, why does the damage start right there?
Oh, and that too.
Correct. This is video.
That was already there. That had to be already
Okay.
there because it did not drag that long.
He was wiping, he took his fingers and said, look, it's coming out, it's coming out. I'm looking at him like, I don't understand. This is damage, like this is huge damage. Like this is not a couple of $100, dollars.
Okay, well, we're going to find out because I'm going to need receipts for what the damage is.
I have my receipts.
Okay. In your statement, or in both of your statements, after that, you did talk to her about it, and you were concerned.
Making sure she was okay.
Okay,
You know?
but then you left the scene because you were.
Yeah, so what had happened was when we pulled over, I made sure I pulled over, talked to her, I tried to talk to her, have a cordial conversation. As soon as I came out the car, as soon as she came out the car, it was just yapping, aggressively. So I'm not gonna have a conversation with you if we both yelling. So I'm trying to talk to her. Okay, are you okay? Look at the damages and stuff like that. But she just kept on acting like a chicken head. So I'm not gonna sit here,
A what?
a chicken head.
Your Honor?
That's okay. We don't need to be calling anybody names here.
All right.
Okay. And also, you're an adult. If someone's nice car,
But it's not a Mercedes-Benz, so the
oh,
$2
He had
whatever
no
it
front
is,
bumper.
not everyone has a Mercedes.
He was driving around with no front bumper.
Okay, I don't drive that car no more though.
That's fine. That's
Okay.
what you were driving at the time
All right,
of this
but you
incident.
left,
That's why we're here
you know
today.
you're not supposed to leave the scene. Even if you thought it was her fault, you can't leave the scene.
So can I
Yes,
say?
go ahead. Why'd
Yeah.
you leave?
So, me trying to talk to her, she automatically talked about, yo, I'm gonna call the cops. You going down? You doing this, doing that. She's talking
This
as
is
if
so
I,
untrue,
She's
Your Honor.
no, that's not untrue. Let me finish. I'll
let
let
him
you
finish,
finish. Let
yeah.
me finish. Like I said, she over here talking about, okay, you going down, you this, that, and the third. She acting like I killed somebody, first of all, over a bumper, you know what I'm saying? So her being aggressive and her sitting there threatening to call the cops and stuff like that, that already put me on the edge. See, me being black in America, I'm not trying to, justify
I'm listening to
anything,
you.
but me being black in America, I see on the internet all the time, on the news, and even stuff happened to me, with cops. I automatically get on the edge whenever I'm around cops, even if I didn't do nothing or not, So
Okay.
a situation where we could have just, talked about it and, we could have handled it ourselves, and you trying to bring the cops into it kind of put me on the edge. So that was the reason why, I said, it is what it is. And I
And you
drove
left.
off.
I was very calm when I stepped out of the vehicle. I was eating cookies.
That was
Okay.
false. That was false.
I didn't even know the damage was that bad.
Crazy, bro.
When the first thing he said to me when he came out of the vehicle was, "I'm going to be honest with you, I don't have insurance. I just moved here from Massachusetts. Do you have Cash App? Do you have Cash App?" I'm like, this is not a few $100s. This
Yeah.
is huge. So I had a feeling that he was going to take off, which he did. I wasn't hearing anything he had to say, so I said that I had to call the police because he doesn't have insurance. So
That's true. You don't have insurance.
I do have insurance.
Now?
Yes.
Did you have it then?
Yes.
he did not, Your Honor. Why didn't he present it to me? As he's walking into his car, I take a picture of his license plate. Brake lights are on. He's in the car, leaving the scene. I called the police. The police report has him leaving the scene.
As soon as I hopped out the car, you started yelling, talking about you gonna call the
Okay.
cops.
Your Honor, this
So
is
what do you
not
think I'm
true.
supposed to
I was
do?
calm, cool, and
That
collected.
was false.
There was no
Okay. That
raising
was
voices
false.
at all.
All right. It lends some texture to the story, but it doesn't change the facts. I'm going to assume on both your sides, when there is an accident, that first 5 minutes, people respond. You, with fear, that this is going to wind
Flight
up bad
risk.
for me, I'm out of here. I respect what you say, and I'm not going to try to put myself in your position. And if you feel that, anyone has a right to feel what they do, so I'm not going to comment on that, whether you were right to feel the way you did, okay? You felt that way, I respect it. It doesn't change what legally happened. I want to see evidence now of what the damages to your car were.
Okay. I have 3 pictures here.
And just to put a punctuation on what I said, I am not, in whatever decision I make, I'm not punishing you for how you felt. Okay, so that is not going to be an issue with me. I am just now making a decision on who caused the accident, and right now it looks like you did because of where the damage occurred on the car. That's all I have to go. I wasn't there. But when I see the damage to her car, somebody hit her on the side, and right now we're talking about you hitting her car. So what were the damages, please?
I have 2 estimates. I have one for $1,900, which I paid to get the damages done, fixed or repaired. And then I had another estimate for like $2,100. If I wanted to go after him, I could have went for the estimate that was $2,100, but I chose the $1,900.
You went for the $1,900. Did you pay that?
I did, and I have a receipt.
And you have a receipt for that?
Yes.
And remind you, sorry for cutting you off, but remind you, I didn't have no fear in the beginning when it happened. Okay,
Right.
I hit her.
I understand.
We
But
collided,
she was upset.
Your Honor.
She was upset.
I had him
But I'm
served.
saying I'm not ruling based on who's being upset. All I see before me is an accident. The accident was caused by you. Even if you put on your lights, the accident is your fault. Damage was done to her car. Regardless of her reaction, it was done to her car. You are entitled to compensation for that. The damage that you paid for the damages, which you're showing me the receipts here of $1,900 and
$1,900.
$1,900.
What other 100 goes?
I was-
And if you have insurance, then you can now go and have the insurance
He didn't have
compensate
insurance at
for
the
it.
time.
Well, it was an interesting point, but it doesn't matter in how I'm going to rule. Whether he had insurance or not, I would still say that he's liable for that, and then it's between him and the insurance company how it gets paid. But you are entitled to $1,900 for the plaintiff, $1,900.
Automatically, when I got out the car, she was aggressive, like I said. If she wasn't as aggressive as she was, then I most definitely went and left the scene.
He had no insurance and left the scene, so we had to take it here. I'm glad to put this behind me and move on.
Hey YouTube, thanks for watching. For more Judge Jerry, click here. more Jerry Springer, click here.